show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, right now, the Florida native BOSSMAN DLOW is on fire. We got some of the biggest artists in the game co-signing him and playing his music all over social media platforms and anyone you could think of, from Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. In a matter of 3 to 4 years, BOSSMAN DLOW has made a name for himself in his city with songs such as The Biggest, Getting With Me, Finesse, Creed, Pop My Ish, and Phil Jackson. So today I would like to shine a light on BOSSMAN DLOW and everything he has going on, being that he's on the come up and it seems like a lot of people is gravitating to his campaign. In this video, we're going to visit some facts about DLOW as well as his upbringing and how he started in the music industry after doing some time behind bars. Of course, it wasn't always glamorous as things may look now, because we know that a lot of these rappers have went through the ringer before they ended up where they really wanted to be within the music industry. BOSSMAN DLOW's story is one to watch because he has a story that teaches the people who follow in their dreams to never give up, stay patient, stay consistent, and you too can live the life you want if you just stay focused on your craft. From playing basketball in his younger years, growing up in the neighborhood that most don't make it out of, jail, BOSSMAN DLOW explains that he was never really into the drill lifestyle of catching ops and the stuff that's glorified in music today. Instead, he says that where he's from, everybody was more interested in getting some money and trying to be the richest amongst their peers. So make sure y'all stay tuned to the channel as we visit some interesting details on the come up of BOSSMAN DLOW and before he had everybody rocking to his music. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. If you aren't subscribed already, make sure you do so now before we get into the truth about Florida rapper BOSSMAN DLOW, aka Big Za. Now, 25-year-old Devontae McCreary, aka BOSSMAN DLOW, was born on August 31st, 1998 in Port Salerno, Florida, located in Martin County. His name BOSSMAN DLOW started from when he was already a kid and everyone called him DLOW, and as he got older, he himself added the BOSSMAN part because that's what he was inspiring to be, a boss. Growing up, DLOW played video games such as Halo and bumped nothing but two of his favorite artists, who are Lil Wayne and Wiz Khalifa, on his Xbox. As a kid in Port Salerno, DLOW explained that everybody just tried to get some money, so that's mainly what his focus was on, and that's how he quickly fell into the streets. But before the streets, DLOW was into basketball and had dreams of becoming an official basketball player in the NBA. The hoop dream started in junior high school in 6th grade. Although he started playing in the 6th grade, DLOW would go 6th and 7th grade, not being picked to play on the school's basketball team in junior high school. However, he never gave up. He worked on his game, and by the 8th grade, that's when he would finally get picked to join his school's basketball team. DLOW's basketball career wouldn't last too long because by the 10th grade, DLOW would be expelled from his high school for marijuana possession leaving school in his car. When most kids would return back to school and take it as a learning lesson, DLOW would explain that that's when he decided that school wasn't for him and jumped right into the streets. Jumping into the streets officially at around 13 and 14 years old, DLOW would find himself being arrested and sent to a juvenile detention center early. At that point, it was no looking back, but before he got into the music, playing in the streets gave DLOW a very extensive rap sheet where most of his charges were drug related and nothing violent. In 2017, DLOW was arrested and booked on May 17th for a few charges including tampering with evidence, possession of cannabis, and resisting an officer without violence when he was 18 years old. Although that wasn't much, the arrests would continue back to back because in 2018, a 19-year-old D-Lo was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, which was CC, which happened to be a little more serious than his last marijuana charge. Then while on probation for that charge, just a year after in 2019 while we were in the pandemic, D-Lo was arrested in relation to a nearly year-long investigation into what detectives said were 2 fake businesses used to launder drug money. Him along with 5 others were arrested on drug-related charges between July 16th and August 8th in 2019. In February of that year, deputies said D-Lo sold $100 worth of CC to an informant. He was arrested July 16th, 2019 and hit with 1 felony charge of sale of a controlled substance. He was taken to and later released from Martin County Jail on a $25,000 bond. Detectives say D-Lo and 11 others were involved in running drug fronts disguised as stores to hide their illegal gains. Detectives Michael McCarthy and Ed Stagmiller investigated Porchlife Entertainment Global Creations LLC and Splurge Game Hall from August 2018 through July of that year after they received anonymous complaints about the 2 businesses. When detectives did their investigation, they found the 2 storefronts located next to each other in the 3600 block of Southeast Salerno Road in Stewart. They were closed off to the public and said they were being used to clean money from marijuana and CC. Although D-Lo was into music early, playing around and freestyling with his boys, he explained during the interview that it's when he was in jail when he wrote his first song and decided to take music pretty serious. As he gives credit to his boys, D-Lo explained that his inspiration to write and take music serious came when he called home and his friends told him that they have gotten their own studio while he was incarcerated. They let D-Lo know that they're now doing music and that's the wave they were going. So with his boys now having a studio and creating music at will, D-Lo would follow suit and that's when his rap career started. During his 20-month stay in jail, while the pandemic was at its highest, D-Lo would perfect his own sound and create a bunch of songs that he would later put to a beat when he was released. He made a promise to himself that he was never going back to jail and he's going to take music more serious. As he kept going, the guys in the local started telling him that his music was hard. This is what encouraged D-Lo to keep going. So in 2020, he released his debut song called Bag Right, which was a track that got people familiar with his name and who he was. That same year, he released other songs such as I Ain't Going Broke, Turnt, and Chemistry. This was all a lead up to what we hearing today because BOSSMAN D-Lo didn't see a real breakthrough with his music until he released his single called Rotation in the beginning of 2023 in January off his project Too Slippery. During the interview, D-Lo explains how he made the song Rotation first, and that's what made all the street guys start rocking with him the most. However, he feels it was a little too street and needed to come up with a catchy song that's going to cater to the clubs and the women too. That's when he came up with his next biggest song called The Biggest, and then he took completely off after that. The track gained so much attention that everyone started playing him from the likes of Lil Durk, Rod Wave, and YTB Fat, who is another artist right now who's bubbling on the come up. Which is kind of dope to see another up and coming artist extending his hand to bring up another artist, despite most people thinking that the next artist is going to steal their shine. Right now the song The Biggest is trending and has almost 1 million views on YouTube on the one featuring himself. YTB Fat got in contact with him via Instagram and said he rocked with the song. Then he actually went to Florida and pulled up on D-Lo in his hood, and that's where the remix came from. The remix video has almost 3 million views on YouTube currently, and it was only published just 2 months ago. Not too bad for a new artist. Now D-Lo explains when it comes to making the song, he says that at that time he came up with it, he used to write his music before going to the studio. Now he goes to the studio and write, then record. But before he used to have to save money for studio time, so he couldn't waste it. So being that he would write his music before going to the studio, it will only take him about 30 minutes or less to make a song, in which he came out with The Biggest. He explains that for that song, it was actually a process and he had to think a little harder for that one because he was more concerned about what his audience wanted instead of himself, being that he was trying to cater more to the ladies, clubs, and men this time. So he had to come up with something catchy, in which he did. BOSSMAN D-Lo has been co-signed by guys such as Rod Wave, Jack Boy, Boston Richie, Lil Durk, and the legend himself, Timbaland. which was actually shocking because you don't hear too many older producers or artists co-signing new artists, especially Floridians or guys that just aren't the boom bap type of lyricists. Now, when asked who he would like to get a feature from, if it was anyone he could get a feature from, BOSSMAN would bring up Atlanta's own Future. He states that he likes Future and pretty much need a Future record, which is kind of crazy because when I first heard D-Low's music, the first person I thought collab-wise would be dope is him and Future. The other one would be YTB Fat, but that already happened. That was just a collab that made sense, and I think it also showed other up-and-coming artists that you don't have to hate or be in competition with one another. Instead, you can coexist and both get money together because it's enough out here for the both of them. BOSSMAN D-Low also stated that he would like to work with Sexy Red, Glorilla, Rob49, and Nardo Wick, which are all some good people that he would match with, but I also feel like a collab between him and Lil Baby would be hard. Now, despite what he raps about, when it comes to him being in the streets, D-Low explains that once the music took off, he had to boss up and leave the streets alone because it ain't just about illegal trapping, it's about having real motion, period, whether it's legal or illegal. However, he prefers just to rap and stay out the streets because he's simply tired of going to jail. And I understand. Now, besides his interviews, D-Low makes it clear that he never ever been about shooting and toting guns and killing and all that stuff. He's more about getting money and taking care of his family. He also encourages the youth to come up to do the same thing. When asked what's something that he would like to do to change his community, D-Low explained that he would like to put a community center there for the kids to give them activities and something to do because right now no one is trying to do anything for the neighborhood he grew up in. Not to mention, we all know that idle hands will do the devil's work, which have already been proven in the past that when kids don't have anything to do, they often fall victim to the streets, which later on either ends them up in jail or a gravesite. One thing I like about D-Low is he himself know about them elites, as he stated in an interview with Mix One Essentials, that them people up top want us to make drill music so we could be out here destroying each other, and that's not what he's trying to do. A lot of rappers, especially young and up and coming, isn't talking like that these days, and most of them are simply afraid to, even if they do know about it or are aware. Now, before I end this video, something that a lot of people may not know is that D-Low is a big poker player and says that he actually loves the game. That's not something you hear people saying every day, so I found it interesting because poker isn't much of a common game amongst people, and it's a thinking man's game at that. So a lot of people not really into it. But anyway, I hope you guys learned something watching this video. We wish more success to BOSSMAN D-Low. We do know that he's already signed to Alamo Records, so congratulations to him on that as well. He blew up, got his foot in the door, created opportunities for not only himself, but his family as well. He turned a negative into a positive as he went through a lot on his journey, in and out in jail and all type of stuff. But it looks like it all paid off, thanks to staying consistent and not giving up. So y'all let me know what y'all think about BOSSMAN D-Low in the comments and his journey, and let us know what y'all want us to cover next. Alright? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. I'm out.